Sophia woke up early in the morning. The room was quiet. The sunlight slowly entered through the window and touched her face. She opened her eyes and reached for her phone. And like every morning, the first thing she checked was her bank balance. She stared at the number and her heart sank. It was almost empty. Again, she took a deep breath. She felt frustrated, confused, and tired because Sophia was not lazy. She worked hard every single day. She had a job, she had income, but somehow she was still broke and she couldn't understand why. Have you ever felt like this? Working hard, trying your best, but still not moving forward? This is the reality for millions of people. And today, you will understand the real reason why people stay poor. Not the fake reason, the real reason. Sophia got out of bed and got ready for work. She wore her navy blue suit. She looked professional, responsible, disciplined. From the outside, she looked like she had everything under control, but inside, she was struggling. She left her apartment and walked toward the bus stop. Every day was the same. Same road, same bus, same office, same life. No change, no progress, just routine. And that's where the problem begins. Most people don't realize it, but routine can trap you because when every day looks the same, your future stays the same. Poor people live on repeat. Rich people live on purpose. Sophia arrived at her office. She sat at her desk. She turned on her computer and started working. Emails, reports, tasks, meetings. Hours passed. Her boss walked by. He didn't even look at her. No appreciation, no recognition, just more work. Sophia worked hard. She was loyal. She was responsible, but her salary stayed the same year after year. And that's when she realized something important. Working hard does not make you rich. If it did, every construction worker would be a millionaire, but they are not because income alone does not create wealth. Habits create wealth. During lunch break, Sophia sat with her coworkers. They were talking about shopping. One of them bought a new phone. Another bought expensive shoes. Another was planning a vacation. They were excited, happy, but Sophia noticed something strange. None of them talked about saving money. None of them talked about investing. They only talked about spending. And this is one of the biggest reasons people stay poor. They spend money to impress others, not to improve their future. Rich people invest first. Poor people spend first. After work, Sophia went home. She felt exhausted. She sat on her sofa and opened social media. She started scrolling, video after video, hour after hour. Time disappeared. She told herself, I deserve this. I worked hard today. But deep inside, she knew the truth. She was wasting time. And time is more valuable than money because you can earn money again, but you can never get time back. Poor people use time to escape their problems. Rich people use time to solve their problems. That night, Sophia couldn't sleep. She kept thinking, why was her life not changing? Why was she still struggling? She was doing everything she was taught to do. Study hard, get a job, work hard, but nobody taught her how to build wealth. Nobody taught her how money really works. And that's when she realized something shocking. Poor people are not poor because they are stupid. They are poor because they were never taught the truth. Sophia sat up and asked herself one simple question. What if I change my habits? That question changed everything. That question changed everything. Sophia sat in silence. Her phone was still in her hand, but for the first time, she didn't want to scroll. She wanted to think. She wanted to understand. She wanted to change because she finally realized something painful. Nothing was going to change unless she changed. Not her job, not her boss, not her salary, her habits, because your habits create your future. The next morning, Sophia woke up early again. The same room, the same sunlight, the same life, but this time, her mindset was different. She didn't open social media. She didn't waste time. Instead, she opened YouTube and searched for something she had never searched before: how to build wealth. It felt strange, uncomfortable, new, but powerful. She watched one video, then another, then another. She learned something shocking. Wealth is not built by working for money. Wealth is built by making money work for you. And that idea changed the way she saw everything. That day at work, nothing had changed. Same desk, same computer, same boss, same salary. But Sophia had changed. She was observing, watching, learning. She noticed how people complained all day about their jobs, about their salaries, about their lives, but none of them were doing anything to change it. They were waiting for a raise, waiting for luck, waiting for someday, but someday never comes. Rich people act, poor people wait. During lunch break, her co-workers invited her again. They were planning to buy expensive coffee, like every day. Sophia stood up. She walked with them. She looked at the menu and paused. Before, she would buy without thinking, but today, she thought about her future. She thought about her habits. She thought about her life, and for the first time, she said no. It was a small decision, but it felt powerful because discipline begins with small choices. That evening, Sophia went home. She sat at her desk. She opened her laptop and did something she had never done before. She wrote down her expenses, every dollar, every habit, every mistake. She looked at the numbers. And the truth became clear. She was not poor because she didn't earn enough. She was poor because she didn't manage her money. Money was coming in, but money was leaving faster, and she never noticed because she never looked. Rich people track their money, poor people ignore their money. Sophia made a decision. From that day forward, she would change, she would save, she would learn, she would grow, she would stop living on autopilot and start living on purpose. It wasn't easy. The next day, she wanted to buy coffee again. The next day, she wanted to waste time again. The next day, she wanted to return to her old habits because change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable, but staying poor is more uncomfortable. Days passed, then weeks. Sophia started saving money, little by little, not a lot, but enough. More importantly, she was building discipline. She was building awareness. She was building a new identity. She was no longer just a worker. She was becoming a builder. One night, Sophia looked at her savings. It wasn't millions. It wasn't even thousands, but it was progress. And progress creates confidence. For the first time in her life, she felt in control, not of everything, but of herself. And that is where wealth begins. Self-control. Because poor people try to control their lifestyle. Rich people control their habits. Sophia realized something powerful. Nobody was coming to save her. Nobody was coming to make her rich. Nobody was responsible for her future, except her. And instead of feeling scared, she felt free. Because if it was her responsibility, it was also her power. She didn't need luck. She didn't need permission. She only needed discipline. Months later, Sophia was no longer the same person. She still had the same job, but she had a different mind. She still had the same income, but she had different habits. She was no longer living blindly. She was living intentionally and slowly. Her life was changing, not because of one big decision, but because of small daily decisions. That's how wealth is built. Quietly, slowly, daily. And that's when Sophia understood the truth. People stay poor, not because they don't earn money, but because they never change their habits. They repeat the same actions. They repeat the same mistakes. They repeat the same life year after year, and nothing changes. But Sophia made a choice. She chose to change. She chose to grow. She chose to build her future. And that decision changed her life forever. And the truth is, you can do the same. Because the moment you change your habits is the moment your life begins to change. Weeks turned into months. And slowly, Sophia changed. She was still at the same job, same desk, same computer, but not the same person. Her habits changed. Her mindset changed. Her discipline changed. Every day, she saved money. Not a lot, but enough. Enough to take control of her life. She stopped wasting money. She stopped wasting time. She started living with purpose. One evening, she opened her bank account, and for the first time, her savings were growing. It wasn't big, but it was progress. And progress changes everything. She smiled, not because she was rich, but because she was stronger. At work, her boss said, "Good work, Sophia." It was a small moment, but it meant everything. That night, she looked outside her window and realized one truth. Success begins when you change yourself. Sophia changed, and her life changed. Maybe yours can too. All it takes is one decision. Change your habits. Change your life. On this channel, you will learn how to build wealth, step by step, through mindset, saving, and investing. Subscribe now and start your journey to financial freedom.